Hey guys, I'm Zaina. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is all about my apartment hunting experience. I figured this video might be helpful to share because I know tons of people are interested in moving to New York and probably want to see what's out there. I'd like to preface this video by saying that I went into this process a little bit differently from someone that might be moving to New York for the first time because I am a native New Yorker. I was born and raised in Brooklyn and I've been here my entire life. Because of that, I was a bit picky. I knew what neighborhoods I wanted to be in versus which neighborhoods I didn't. And I do drive, but if I ever went back to work in a city, I would prefer to be near certain train lines over others. But I absolutely did not want to live super close to any train station, which might be weird to some of you guys watching considering this is New York City and most people want to be as close to the subway as they can get, which is totally understandable. But I grew up taking the bus to the train whenever I needed to take the train, which I had to do all throughout high school considering I lived in Brooklyn and went to school in Manhattan. So I would have to get up early and take the bus to the train every single morning for 4 years. And so I'm just used to that and I kind of prefer it that way. And of the 5 boroughs, I only seriously considered 2. Now, as for my apartment must-haves, I kind of only had a few very simple requests. I was looking for a spacious 1-bedroom with an in-unit washer and dryer because I literally dread doing laundry. So if you're moving here from out of state and you come from a state where every home or apartment complex has in-unit washer and dryers, depending on where you end up in the city, you may have to go do your laundry at a local neighborhood laundromat. So just get used to that. And I know most people coming here don't have cars, so you will be lugging your laundry bag to the laundromat. Fortunately, I have a car, but even then it is still very annoying and I wish I could just get up and do my laundry in my apartment, and I feel like I would enjoy the laundry process so much more than I do now. Another big must-have was the apartment must have a kitchen island because I love to cook and I love to bake and I want to do so much more of that in 2024. So I would really love to find an apartment with an island. Another thing I wanted was a good amount of cabinet space and closet space. I have a lot of stuff. Cabinet space for obvious reasons. I like to cook and bake like I said, and also I really do enjoy grocery shopping and buying all the cute little new trendy items at like Trader Joe's and other places. And we already paid for a gym membership, so an apartment with a gym or other amenities isn't a must-have, but of course it's a good bonus. And the last and final standard that I had was that I was not going to get into an insanely overpriced lease, and under no condition was I going to pay an overpriced amount to live in an apartment that I didn't absolutely love. And so with that super long intro out of the way, let's jump into the fun part, which is the apartment tours. So I'm gonna be looking at my notes so that way I remember important details about each apartment. So in the first apartment complex, we saw 3 different units and the building had quite a few amenities. I'm pretty sure it had like a children's playground, it had a pool, a gym, like a barbecue, and like it had like an outdoor area. So it had quite a lot of amenities, but the icing on the cake was that it was on the beach, and I am absolutely in love with the beach. I love the water. I love being near the water. I literally take long walks on the beach in the evening literally every season pretty much except for winter. So this choice was obviously very tempting because I would be that close to the beach and I could see how calming it would be to live that close to the ocean. So the first unit was pretty nice, and I love that the person who showed us the tour showed us the units in order of like least appealing to most appealing, I would say. So I really love that because it honestly just kept getting better. And like any apartment in your apartment hunting journey, each unit is going to have its pros and its cons. So I'm going to go through each unit one by one. The first unit was pretty nice, but it did feel a little bit small. I'm not sure if the videos do it justice in reference to like our experience. But I love that it had a walk-in closet with like built-in shelves. So this apartment was okay. It had an island. It had an alright amount of cabinet space. It definitely could have had more. Like I would have liked the kitchen to honestly be a little bit bigger, as well as like the living room area, but it did have a walk-in closet, which was really nice. Then we went on to the next apartment, and this one did not have an island. It kind of had one of those kitchens that like all of your counter space and everything is like against one wall in a line, which I'm not really a fan of because I like to cook, and also when I do cook, things can get a bit messy. So I really do need all the space in the kitchen that I can get, and this would just not be enough space. And obviously you can do things like get one of those like bar tables. We have one in our current apartment, and honestly it just really isn't the same. So I was not a fan of that aspect of the apartment, but it had this huge balcony. Like the balcony was insanely large, and I feel like that would just be so nice in the summer because you could really like make it your own out there. You could put like chairs. I can imagine have like an egg chair and like even a table and like a barbecue. Okay, let's see the closet.
This has a smaller bedroom but a larger.
So that apartment was really nice, but the bedroom was small. But honestly, I think the living room balcony area kind of made up for the small bedroom. And the last unit we seen in this building was probably my favorite because even though the balcony was smaller, you had a prime view of the ocean and the beach, and we actually went and the sun was setting. So you can imagine how I felt in this unit. I was just like, scratch the long balcony, having the space to stand out there and just watch the ocean. Like I could imagine. I'm someone that loves cruising, and we always get a balcony room because of how nice it is to like wake up and go out there on your balcony and watch the ocean and be with the waves and have just like that wind against your face. So I could imagine doing that in this apartment because you could wake up every single morning and go out on your balcony and watch the sunrise and just watch the waves, and you can do the same thing every evening. So I was literally obsessed. Yeah, the balcony on this one was a bit smaller, but that view was unmatched, and it also had a good view from the bedroom. So I was really a fan of this apartment. The room was an okay size, and it had quite a few closets in this apartment too, which was really nice. I don't think it had a walk-in closet like that first unit, but there were a few closets, and I know sometimes that can be a pain when you're looking for apartments where like the apartment just doesn't have any closet space. Oh yeah, this one has a lot of closet space. I remember before I was looking to move to LA, and one of the buildings that I was looking at was the same building that I stayed at while I completed my last semester in college. And so when I was in college doing my senior year, and you know, it was a free apartment, I thought that it was like the best place ever because it was so convenient. It was like in a convenient location. The building had so many amenities. It had a pool, it had an outdoor area, it had a gym with really good equipment, it had like a dance or like a yoga room, it had so much stuff. So I was obsessed with that apartment. But then after I graduated and I was looking to possibly move back, that was the first place that I looked at. But then I realized that they didn't have any closets in that apartment. Like literally, I was in a 2-bedroom with 4 roommates, but obviously you're only there for a semester, so I pretty much packed like all of my bags in maybe one large suitcase. So I was able to make the best of the one closet we had in the bedroom and like the dresser, which was split between me and my roommate. But if I moved back after college, it was gonna be into a 1-bedroom, and you got significantly less closet space in an apartment that already didn't have that much. And there was no utility closet, which is just like, where do you hang your coats? Where do you put your broom, your mops, all the, you know, your like seasonal decor? Like where would you put that stuff if not in like a utility closet or a coat closet? That is definitely something that I look for in apartments, which I'm not sure if you guys do the same thing, but closet space is so essential. And this unit did have quite a few closets, even though they didn't have any walk-in closets. So I gave them a pass for that. Now, as far as the kitchen, I didn't love that it was that same sort of inline kitchen against the wall. And I especially didn't like the fact that it was as soon as you walk in. I feel like with the second unit, like you kind of had some space between like the kitchen and the doorway. But with this one is like you open the door and your dishwasher and your countertop starts, which I didn't really love. But again, that ocean view was quite amazing. So it definitely put this one high on the list. And for all of these units too, they were like modern, updated, they were bright, they were, the bathrooms were nice, which I liked. And I was gonna say that they were really bright white, and after living in this apartment, I kind of wanted to get away from the white. It wasn't too bad that it was white, because I feel like with the big windows in these apartments, it kind of would reflect, you basically would get a lot of light. Oh, and that's another thing I forgot to mention. Natural light. That was one of my big must-haves. Natural light, because this apartment doesn't get that much natural light, and that is something that I have been craving for years. So natural light is another thing that was high on my list when I was looking for apartments. And what I was gonna say was, I guess the natural light would bounce off of like the white walls in these units and would make it even brighter. Now on to the second apartment. This apartment, literally, I could laugh or I could cry, because the next apartment was a complete catfish, which is kind of funny because it just shows you like the true New York City apartment hunting experience and like what you can expect from this process. So I found this one online and it looked so nice online. It was a 2-bedroom for a moderate price, which should have been the first red flag, because it was almost too good to be true that it was going to be a 2-bedroom at that price. So I should have known something was up, but I did not do my due diligence when I was looking. I kind of just like saw like 2 or 3 pictures and I was like, okay, great, let's email the real estate agent and let's go get a tour. So the day we actually went, it actually started to snow and the agent couldn't even make it to the apartment. So she actually ended up emailing me a code to just let myself into the building, which I thought was cool. I feel like sometimes when you're touring with an agent, you kind of feel pressure to like be like, okay, this is the one, yeah, I'll sign papers right now. But I was excited that it was gonna be we're gonna be able to just like walk around and get a feel for it without feeling like there was that pressure. So we went, we checked it out ourselves, and we legit walked past the building 2 or 3 times because we were so sure we were at the wrong place, because it just did not look very pretty. This building had 0 curb appeal, and honestly, it was just straight up sketchy. If it wasn't for the fact that we were already there, I would have never looked at that unit, but we went in anyway. And like I said, it was a 2-bedroom, but it was so small. I honestly believe that that unit used to be a part of another unit, because there's just no way that it was that small for 2 bedrooms. Like, it looks like the building owner literally divided that apartment with the apartment next door, which it's New York, so they probably did do. The living room and the kitchen bled into each other in a very uncomfortable way, and it looked completely different than how it did online.
There's no way.
To the point that I literally had to go back once we got home and relook at the listing to see how they configured everything in the pictures, which the pictures that I was seeing was obviously got mock-ups that the real estate company does to like stage the apartment, but like none of the furniture, any of that stuff is real. But it still looked really nice in the pictures, but then after I went home and saw it again, I'm like, oh, okay, the signs were there. The signs were there, I just didn't see it because I was like looking way too quickly. So this one just looked completely different than how it looked online, and you guys see in the video, the train was literally right outside the window. So safe to say, this one was my least favorite. The one pro I could see if like someone lived here was that at least you would know when the train is coming. I don't know how fast you would be able to get out of your apartment into the train station, but you would probably hear it from down the block. So maybe, you know, this would like save a lot of people from being late to work if they got this unit. What? We literally only ordered like 3 cookies and look how much we got. Now, the last building that I saw had a good amount of amenities as well. Your typical gym, yoga room, library, all that good stuff. We toured this one a couple times because the units varied and like the property manager couldn't really see what finishes were in which unit until they were like putting the key in the door. So we were hoping to find one that was like updated, white kitchen, all that good stuff, but we ended up not seeing one on any of our tours. However, this was one of my favorites. It felt so cozy. It was kind of like everything I would want in an apartment. It had the in-unit washer and dryer. It got a lot of natural light. It was spacious. It had the kitchen island that I really wanted. The only real con I could think of about this apartment was that the kitchen wasn't as bright as I would like. It had dark cabinets, which I would prefer white, and I wasn't a fan of the countertops. It was like that yellowish, brownish, like granite or something. And honestly, I would prefer like marble or white. So obviously those things are like super minor compared to some of the other things that you might be up against when you're in your apartment hunting process or journey. And so that wasn't a huge deal, but it was like one of the cons that I noted when touring this apartment. And we did a few other tours that I did not get to record, and there were some units that I really wanted to tour, but like the real estate agent online was just not very responsive, and we kind of had already made our decision. The apartment that I did get is in this video, and I think it might be obvious which one it is. So feel free to take your guesses on which one we got in the comment section below, and let me know which one was your favorite. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. And like, I know everyone has different tastes, and that is the beauty of all of us. There really is so much nuance to New York, and every apartment is just so different. So if you guys are moving to New York anytime soon, or anywhere else for that matter, I wish you all the best of luck in your apartment hunting journey. And if you guys want to see which apartment I chose and want to follow along for my Moving in New York series, subscribe down below and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.